since we're talking about race. Okay.
Since we've gotten here now.
Have you even watched, you don't know anything about the NFL draft, I'm sure, but, and do you know who Deion Sanders is, I hope?
I do know this name.
Okay. So Deion Sanders, superstar from, the 90s, 80s and 90s, and one of my favorite players. I still have a jersey of his from when he was on the Niners. So his son, Shedeur, whatever, his son's name, his son Sanders, was a quarterback at Colorado. Okay. So all the experts were saying, oh, this guy's going to go in the top 5. Right. And, I don't know. I always found that very bizarre because like usually like, oh, top 5 quarterback is on like a team that is in the running for like national championship, and his team sucked. Like they weren't even good. Okay. But everyone knew that he had no offensive line, but like, and they showed his highlights, and the kid can throw, right? Sure. But Deion Sanders, okay, his nickname was Primetime. He's the most flashy, like his ego was out of control, but he backed it up. Like he was the best cornerback in the game, best kick returner in the game. He was a massive game changer, right? His son is very much like him, but he is a college player, has not won anything, whatever. And so anyway, everybody was picking him to go in the top 5. I didn't really understand it. Okay. So apparently you know how prospects will go to their the teams, and they'll have like these interviews, right? Like they do their interview. Okay. So how these players do in their interviews has a very big effect on how they get drafted. Okay. So perfect example, Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf came out in the same draft. Okay. They were both, it was a huge toss up. Like who's going to get picked, Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf? This is the best example of this ever. So they go to their, the Indianapolis Colts have the first pick of the draft. So they interview both of them. Okay. This is I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but they boiled it down to this. They asked both guys, hey, you're about to get a lot of money, regardless of whether we draft you or, the Chargers draft you or whatever. What are you going to do with your first paycheck? And the way they answered that, Peyton Manning gives this answer about how he's going to save it and he's going to put a down payment on a house, he's going to do whatever. And Ryan Leaf tells them he's probably going to take his friends to Vegas. Okay. And I mean, it's an honest answer.
Yeah. Stupid answer, but an honest one.
Maybe or maybe not. Like maybe he thought he's being generous to his boys, and so that means he's going to be a team player, right? He's going to take his friends to Vegas.
Responsible quarterback.
He's
who's going to party in Vegas.
So
not who they want leading the boys.
The number 1 pick, Peyton Manning, who ends up being one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Yeah. Super Bowl winner. Arguably one of the best leaders in the history of the NFL at any position ever.
He's great.
Ryan Leaf gets drafted 2nd. He goes to the Chargers.
I don't even know who Ryan Leaf is.
He has one of the most disappointing careers ever. Like literally ever. Washes out of the league, ends up bankrupt. He made so much money, spent it all, okay, but ends up bankrupt, and then ends up on the street robbing houses as an Oxycontin addict. Okay. Now he's pulled his life together, and he kind of he goes around and speaks about addiction and all that stuff. But he didn't pull it together till he was in his late 30s to 40s.
Looks like Indiana, you said, made the right choice.
Correct. And it was so that process is very important. Okay. So, Sanders goes into Shedeur goes into his interviews, and the report was that it was the worst. One of the guys said it was the worst pre-draft interview they've ever had in the entire history of their time in the NFL.
That's embarrassing.
Okay. Check this out. He builds a fucking room for draft day and has all over the walls written legendary. Okay. Legendary all over the walls. He's never played an NFL game. He didn't win. He didn't fucking go to a bowl game, I don't think, dude. Or not a big one. Yeah. His team was 8. As a quarterback, he was 18-12. Okay, there's never been a top 5 quarterback who was 18-12. The only reason that he was supposed to, is because everyone knew his team was not very good and he was doing his best with what he had.
And they knew who his daddy is.
And his daddy's the coach of the team. Here's another thing.
His daddy coached his football team?
Correct. And they didn't have an agent. Deion was representing him. So the way that also plays out is that the agent can give good advice to the kid.
Yeah.
Like, as an example, listen, dude,
These
you're going to the
really
NFL.
Important.
They don't want to hear about how you're the bomb and you're about to blah, blah, blah. Like, you want to go in there, like the quarterback position in the NFL, like, they don't want to, if you're buying into your own hype, that's going to be a problem. Now, you could buy in all you want, but they need to be able to see that you could turn it off. So when you go in there, you need to be humble, you know, whatever. Dion is not going to tell him that. Dion did not tell him that. And so he went in there slapping his dick on the table, whatever. Do you know how
legendary he is?
Exactly. Do you know how many NFL teams have seen a top drafted quarterback who was a big fuck, a dirt, just completely bomb in the league? Like, you have to be, here's the other thing. He didn't do his homework in between the first interview and the second, which is a huge indicator. Like,
of course.
you have to know all the defenses and all that stuff. Like,
if you're interviewing to be the quarterback,
Correct.
You better damn well know the playbook.
Right.
Like, that's duh.
So he's supposed to be the top 5 pick. Where does he get drafted? What?
25.
164th in the 5th round, dude. Wow. I think it was 164. But anyway, I don't have to look. 5th round. It's the most like shocking, historic drop in draft pick like ever. From top 5
everyone's
to
like,
5th
round.
We
don't want him. We don't want him.
Exactly. They were like, because he was such a huge prospect, the word went around. They're like, he bombed his interview so bad.
Let that be a lesson, children.
And you know, like, think about the cohesion you need to be able to hold in an NFL team where you have all these guys that are between 22 and like a 35-year-old
and
is
making
old.
Millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rich as fuck,
spoiled
famous
babies.
And you have to keep, who are given, they are living
and they're
the
gigantic.
Dream. They're huge.
Spoiled gigantic babies.
Everybody sucks them off everywhere they go, and you somehow need to get them to work together. What do you think it's going to do to your team if you bring in some cocky little kid who has no reason to be cocky at all? He's wearing chains. He's like, yeah, dare. It's going to,
Lord.
So that's why he got picked. He got picked by the Cleveland Browns, first of all, the last team that anybody wants to go to live in Cleveland. And he's not even the first quarterback they drafted. He's the second quarterback they drafted.
Sad. So he's a backup QB?
Well, he's going to get to fight for the position.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But listen to this, okay? So why are all the people at ESPN saying that he dropped so far? What's their theory?
I don't know.
Racism, obviously. Because he's black. Swear on our children.
Because we've never had an awesome black quarterback.
Hey, who was the first pick of the draft?
I don't know.
A black quarterback.
That's racist.
So there's only 25% white guys in the NFL, much less in the draft, okay? To say
so
anything is driven by racism against black people in the NFL is so ludicrous. It's like
retarded.
It is.
I don't use that word a lot, but it is that.
Beyond.
You're special kind of stupid.
Beyond
if you think that.
Retard status. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is
embarrassing.
That story. And
I got to go get kids.
She's got to go get kids. So probably going to chop this into 2 videos even.
See you next time.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.